This week's big review is Digital Synsations Volume 2, and that's available from UVI. This library is a collection of 3 classic digital synths, all wrapped up in the UVI interface or Falcon, and they've been given a functional overhaul too. The synths in question here are not too subtly alluded to by the graphical interface and the names, so I feel pretty confident in saying that they're the Roland JD800 or 990, the Kawai K5000S and the Ensoniq Fismo. The library is 18GB in size when compressed, and it has 528 presets. Now, I grew up creating music with the sounds of some of these machines, so I was really interested to see how the software versions compare to the hardware. Let's have a look. So first off, the sounds. They're rich, warm and really authentic as far as I'm concerned. The tones here really reminded me of Depeche Mode and the Pet Shop Boys, and some of the waveforms might be a little bit sterile for some, but there are plenty of ways to shape the sounds and dirty them up too. Let's have a listen. So onto the interface. Each of the 3 synths here has its own unique interface design, but on closer inspection you'll actually find that the exact same functions are present on each of these 3, just with the knobs and the dials in different places. There are options for filter, ADSR curve, stereo width and colour, drive, bit crushing, pitch, mono and polyphonic modes, and several effects too. Opening a second menu gives you detailed control over these effects, and this menu is easy to miss if you're not paying attention, so do look out for it. However, everything else is pretty much self-explanatory and easy to locate on the interfaces. Although I initially thought having 3 different interfaces was a cool look and a nice idea, actually when it came to auditioning the sounds and how quickly and easily I could shape them, having 3 different interfaces with the buttons and dials in different places was a little bit of a hiccup. I had to poke around and remind myself of which was where. So the fact that these 3 synths do have the same controls but in different places, it did interrupt my workflow a little bit. All of the presets here come with their effects pre-assigned, resulting in some nice juicy sounds, and there's often a lot of reverb and delay involved, so you'll want to turn off the effects if you just want to hear the raw sounds. In the presets, the mod wheel has also been sensibly pre-assigned to some useful functions like vibrato, tremolo and filter, although these do vary, as I say, depending on the preset. You can always switch over the functionality yourself, it's pretty easy to do on the interface. So overall, I did enjoy my time with Digital Synsations 2. It's more of a rompler than a full-on synth and does cut down on a lot of the original synth's functionality, but with this many authentic presets and interface options, it's really hard to argue with the content on offer. One thing I did miss was percussion, as there's none sampled here, but despite this, the library had me wanting to bust out some kind of new wave synth tracks almost immediately. I do think it's a solid bundle. Thank you so much for watching. That's just a small taste of the Samplecast, a weekly podcast and YouTube show for sample library geeks and plugin enthusiasts. You can find out more information at thesamplecast.com. Don't forget to subscribe.